What is a mentor? And why do you need one? What does a mentor actually do and how can they help you? These are some of the concepts that we are going to get into today, so let's get right to it. Hey y'all, Crystal here today, and I'm excited to talk to you about this fun word, mentor. What does a mentor mean for me, and what can that mean for you? So I define a mentor as someone that I look up to, not as like an inspiration and someone who's really motivating and they've achieved all of this success, but I look at my mentors as someone who has achieved something that I wish to do myself. This is the very big difference because I see an entrepreneur like Sarah Blakely, the inventor of Spanx, and I look at all of the amazing things that she's done by giving back and contributing so many incredible things to the world and, let's be honest, to women's waistlines. And I love her so much for this, but at the end of the day, I don't necessarily want to sell a physical product. So while I do consider Sarah a mentor in showing me how to kind of navigate the entrepreneurial waters, I look at her as an inspiration more so than someone who I want to build a business exactly like hers. Now that I've told you about an amazing mentor of mine who is a little bit sidestepped off of my focus for what I have for my business and for my podcast, I want to introduce you to someone who I do consider a friend and a mentor, Amy Porterfield. So I just feel so blessed to know this woman who is making incredible strides in her own entrepreneurial journey with her business and having a multi-million-dollar business that she loves, and she is absolutely obsessed with her business and her customers. So I actually wanted to bring you a conversation that Amy and I had earlier this year about what business is like and a little bit about my journey, a little bit about hers, and I'm just really excited to share this conversation with you. So I'm not going to make you wait any longer. Here's my conversation with Amy Porterfield.
So our next guest is Crystal. Now, Crystal used BSchool to help kickstart her business. She was a stay-at-home mom, and now she is a podcaster teaching other people how to podcast, and she's grown her email list by 700%. That's a lot. So yeah, Chloe's giving a little shout out here. I wish you guys could have seen that. So list building is a huge part of BSchool. If you don't have an email list yet, Marie's going to show you how to get one going. But if you have an email list, but it's not growing and you're not doing much with it, Marie's going to help you with that as well. So huge focus on list building. So we're going to talk about that with Crystal. So I won't make you wait any longer. Let's bring her on. Hey there, Crystal.
Hello, everybody.
How are you, girl?
I'm good. I actually have a quick update because I'm actually at 1,000%.
Oh my gosh.
700. It's 1,000% now.
Okay.
From my list of, it's awesome.
That is so awesome. I know you've been putting a really big focus on list building because, as you know, the energy of your business is directly tied to the strength of your email list.
Yes.
And you can do so much with an email list, make such a big impact, make so much money, but you've got to start somewhere. And I think BSchool is such a great place to start growing your email list. But before we get to all of that, so tell everybody where you're from, what your home life looks like, and tell us, I know I gave them a hint, but tell me a little bit more about the business you have today.
Okay, so I am located in Houston, Texas. I'm not originally from here, but I'm a Texas girl, y'all. And I know Amy laughs when I say y'all, but it just comes so natural to me. But before I joined BSchool, I had tried so many different things. I had tried writing a book. I tried doing YouTube. I tried blogging unsuccessfully for a very long time. And I just was very motivated. I've always been a very motivated person, but I just didn't have a lot of direction. And so really, I just feel like whenever I found BSchool, it was just like, okay, you've been kind of wandering in the woods, lost for a long time, like motivated to get out of this lost place. And then y'all gave me a roadmap and I just took off like a rocket.
You really did. I mean, one thing that was really extra special about you in B-School, and I want to tell anybody who's thinking about joining B-School through my B-School Bonus Experience, that you got in my private Facebook group, which is one of my bonuses, and you just got active. You got really engaged. And I bet you did that in the bigger B-School group as well, where what was your mindset around like just showing up in such a big way once you joined B-School?
So it's really funny because I had a full circle moment that I'll talk about in a little bit from B-School, but my husband always just likes to say, you've been a cheerleader all your life. And I literally have since the age of 4. I've been a cheerleader forever. And it just cheering others on and motivating people comes so natural to me. I really connect with Marie when she says, like, listen to the gifts that you already have. Like, what are the abilities and the skills that come natural to you, and listen to that. And that's really, I mean, of course, some of it was trying to figure things out on my own, but whenever I motivate others, it gives me that energy as well. So that's really where that comes from. It's just so much fun for me.
It's so fantastic. And I really do think it put you on the map. Like, everybody in the group knows about you and they're so excited to see your success, and you've helped everybody. So you've made a huge impact. And this year you are a B-School bonus member ambassador. So you're going to be in my private base group helping other people as they navigate through B-School. So thank you for that. That's really exciting. So same with Teresa. She's going to be there as well. So it's really fun to have you girls in the group and helping other people. But tell me a little bit about your journey. So before, like, you were trying a bunch of things, nothing was really working. You weren't making any money with the blogging and the stuff that you had tried before B-School, right?
Right. 100%. I mean, it might have been a little like Amazon affiliate here and there that was like, oh, $1.40 hits your account. And I'm like, that can't even, no.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything.
Right. So you wanted to change that for sure. And so I love what you told your husband. You said something about, did you say you're the cheapest person you know? Or what was that? What did you tell me?
So I'm the cheapest person alive, like alive. Like I watch every single penny. Like I'm so cheap when it comes to, I think not only, things that have to do with our day-to-day lives. We have 3 kids. And I've been a stay-at-home mom. And, whenever I decided to stay at home, I kind of made that my job, is to save our family money. And like, I started cooking and doing all these things that would help us save money. And so when B-School came around,
that had to have been a lot of money for someone that doesn't like to spend money.
It was a tough conversation. And, it's really hard to explain to someone who's not in tuned. My husband does not have an online marketing business. He doesn't follow all the people that I follow. He doesn't understand all the things. But when he could see how excited I was, and again, going back to Marie and being very in tune with your body, I felt very expansive when I thought about joining B-School, and not like, oh my gosh, this is the worst decision I've ever made in my life.
Right.
I just felt on fire, and I knew that I had to do it. And he just looked at me and was like, okay, I mean, if I told you no right now anyway, it wouldn't even matter because I know you're going to do it. And I was just like, babe, I promise I'm going to make this work. And it's just been one of the best decisions that I made, the best decision I made of 2019 for sure, because so many other amazing things have happened.
Well, talk to me about that. Tell me, like, what life looks like now that you've gone through B-School. What does your business look like? What does your life look like? Like, talk to me. Tell me about it all.
Yeah. So actually, and this is the full circle moment that I was just having, and I can't believe that everything fell in place. So I have really been wanting to take my podcasting journey and speak on stages and like become known as an authority in the podcasting space. And I just spoke this weekend at my first podcast conference. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, if you would have told me a year ago that I would be speaking in front of all these people and they'd be looking to me as the expert, asking me all these questions, I would have said, you're insane. There's no way. That would happen.
Okay,
yeah,
Crystal, that's huge. I remember when you're like, I think I'm going to teach people how to podcast. I've got this experience now. And now you're speaking on stages about your expertise. all in a year's time. I mean, when I tell
Yes.
people think about waiting another year to join B School, and I'm like, do you know how much you could do this year if you got into B
Oh my
School?
gosh.
I can't believe you were on stage doing that. Congratulations. I know that had to mean so much to you because you've worked so hard for that.
Yeah, and honestly, if I think about it, it hasn't even been a full year because I enrolled in B School around this time and I decided with your guidance and,
Oh,
like
I
everybody
remember
in the B
this.
School community saying, hey, you got to rebrand, you got to switch, you got to go all in on one thing. And when I did that in May of last year. So it hasn't even been a full 12 months. And I have
Wow.
there's so many amazing things that have happened. And I really wanted to touch on the two biggest contributing factors is creating content for a specific audience, not just for everybody, for a very specific audience, and then creating strategic partnerships along the way, like people that will pull you up and say, yes, let's do this together. And I would have never found that without B School. No,
Uh,
there's just no way.
So two really good things to point out that is definitely what you get in B School. And I know that you made an effort to find your people in B School and to make sure that you had accountability partners and you partnered with people that would tell you, hey, get up off the ground. You messed up. It's okay. We're going to keep going, or celebrate when you get to go on stage and talk about your expertise. And so having the people in your court, you found them in B School. And I absolutely love that. And you're so right. We talk about this in my private Facebook group as well as Marie's program, that you've got to find your audience. And if you're speaking to everybody, you're speaking to no one. So you decided to work with female entrepreneurs who want to create podcasts.
Right.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's the majority of my audience. There's some guys that, they're like, hey, I'm here
Right.
to hang out. And I'm like, that's cool. But, I'm really talking to the ladies.
I
Just
love that.
because
Now,
they're my people.
yes, and it's so fun when you decide who your audience is. And yeah, you're going to get other people on the periphery, and that's cool. It always happens like that. But just to put a stake in the ground and know who you're talking to gives you so much confidence. And that's what I really took away from B School when I went through the program. And I know you got so much of that as well. So now what do you do? Do you create courses? Do you coach? Like, how do you make money with what you do?
Yeah, so I have a podcasting course and it's open. It's actually I'm about to turn it on evergreen soon because I was
Woo!
launching a few times a year, but I've had so many people like, Crystal, I need this. I need this now. I want to create a course, like a podcast right now. I need your course. And I'm
Yes.
like, okay, like I've got to give the people what they want, right? So, but I've been doing some private consulting. I'm working on a membership. I'm writing a podcast book. Like, what?
Who are
Like,
you?
okay, yes.
I mean, come on. This is so great. And this is why I wanted you on here today, because I remember when you just joined B School, came into my B School bonus experience, and you were not this person. You did not have this clarity. You did not have this confidence. You were a hustler. You were ready to do the work. I think that is part of who you are, but you weren't exactly sure how it was all going to come together. And then inside the private B School group, we got to have a conversation around maybe a new direction you could go, and you weren't afraid to take the feedback and run with it. And so I think part of your success is you're an action taker. You take risks, you experiment, you make things happen. And all of this stuff is rooted in what you learned in B School. So it's not like you were making this up as you went. You were learning how to do all of this in B School. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would have to, the only note I would put on that is I was still afraid. Let me be very clear. I was
Fair
still
enough.
afraid to put the stake in the ground and say, I'm going to do this. But the message with Marie saying start before you're ready was just, that was the voice in my head. Yeah, it's scary. It's scary, but anything worth having is going to be scary at times. And that's just what, okay, I trust Amy. I trust Marie. I'm going to go. The worst that could happen is no one signs up for my email list or no one listens to my podcast. And obviously the opposite of that has happened. So
yes.
yeah.
So look at you now. What do you think is, like, if we're talking about specific things you learned in B School, what do you think was one of the things that you're like, ooh, this was really good. This is one of the most helpful. This is what I love the most. Like, what would you pick out of B School that helped you immensely?
So I'm a journaler. I've been journaling for years and years, and I'd never thought of there's an exercise in B School where you write either how you would speak to your customer or how your customer kind of talks to themselves. Like, these are the things that I'm going through. So you talk about the struggles, like all the emotional connection that has to do with all successful online marketing is like, oh, you're overwhelmed, you're this, like you don't have enough time to spend with your kids, or you're working a job that you hate. Like, all the things that you learn in B school just totally blew my mind, because I went to school for marketing, guys. Like, this is what I went to school for, and I was not taught any of this.
That is such a great point. The fact that Crystal went to school for marketing, because I went to school for communications, very similar in that sense, and we didn't learn any of these modern marketing strategies when we were in college. It's hard because my son is 17. He's getting into colleges right now. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, basically what you need to learn is not going to be at that college, but I still want you to go and just have the experience. Right. But then we're going to do an online course when you're ready, and we're going to get you all the experience you need.
Okay, so I wanted to take a quick pause real fast and say, like, this is definitely not a promotional video for B School, but I'm excited to introduce you to one of the programs that I've learned about through Amy. So tell me in the comments below, have you ever taken one of Amy's digital courses, or have you ever had the opportunity to learn from Amy in a capacity, whether it's her podcast or one of her courses, or maybe even her membership? Tell me in the comments below if you've ever learned from Amy in any kind of capacity, or if you're interested to learn more about her. Okay, let's get back to the video.
So I love that you say that. And also, one of the things that you've done beyond, like, it's just so impressive that I think we need to really point out is you have grown your email list with strategies you learned in B School. And what does it mean to you to have an email list? The fact that you have grown it so quickly and in such a great way, like, what does that mean to you now?
I mean, at the end of the day, when you're setting your priorities and you're setting your goals, if you say, I want my email list to be number one, top priority, then all the questions kind of just get thrown to the side. Like, none of the other stuff matters if you're like, I'm going to add value to grow my email list, to serve the people that I want to serve. And like, that's really at the root of it. My mission in my life is to add value and help someone else. And I think I can do that with my email list. I can do that with weekly encouragement through my newsletter and just continuing to add value every single week. So whenever I think about that, it doesn't feel awkward and it doesn't feel spammy to say, I have this thing of immense value that will help you, because I know you're struggling. I did my journal work. I know you're struggling. I know you're overwhelmed. I know you're looking for more time with your family. I know you want to learn how to batch podcasts so you don't have to record in your closet for 7 hours. I know all of the things, guys. I've done all the journal work, but it just kind of flips the whole thing on its head, where marketing feels gross and spammy and awkward. And it's just something that I have no problem telling people that this is either for you or it's not. I'm good either way.
I mean, that's confidence. That's where you become a marketer. You feel really good about what you do. And that's the kind of marketer I think we all want to be. Like, take it or leave it. I'm for you or I'm not for you, but I know what I stand for and I know how I can add value. That's the kind of confidence you get in B School. So what would you tell somebody who's on the fence right now, especially like, that's a lot of money, I just don't know if I can take the leap? Like, what would you tell them, Crystal?
So my first thing would be, there's a payment plan.
Yeah.
That's the first thing.
Good point.
And I would really like kind of evaluate, where do you want to be a year from now? And do you have the resources and the tools in your kit to get you to where you're going? Because if you do, that's fantastic. I did not have that. I had a lot of misguided, like, hey, do this, do that. No, you should really do this. No, actually, I'm going to contradict everything this person says. And it was just too much information coming at me from all the free places, from the experts online, who, that's a whole other issue. We won't get into that, okay? But I want to talk to people that I trust. I want to learn from people that have been where I want to be. And that was the bottom line in me making the decision, is looking at you and Marie and what you've built. It's lasted. It's not a flash in the pan. It's not something that is going to be gone tomorrow. It's something that's here to stay. And that's really what it made me take a chance on myself. And actually, I showed up in a much bigger way because, and I know you say this all the time, because I had some skin in the game.
Yes.
I did show up in a much bigger way, and I finished B-School, and I was like, guys, we're going to do this. I'm going to make it happen. There's no messing around. We paid like our hard-earned money for this course. You better bet your bottom dollar I'm going to show up. I was going to say something else, but
I love it. You kept it G-rated. So funny. So cute.
Yes.
So before I let you go, for anybody who knows me, you will understand what's on Crystal's shirt. But girl, you got to show your shirt.
Yes, I know. That's why I was like,
okay, wait. Oh, let me go full screen. Hold on.
Okay, so if you go to the live event, this is something from a live event last year, but if you're familiar to Amy, you know, if you're multitasking, come back to me. There are some other shirts possibly in the works for this year that you can only see if you go to the live event.
Okay, so you will be there, right? You're going to be there in July.
Yes.
You're going to be giving tons of hugs and welcoming everybody there.
Yes, all the selfies, all the fun things.
So
I will
fun.
be there, and I hope to see you. If you are thinking about joining B-School, do it, guys. I'm telling you, if you have the funds and you're able to, it will blow your mind. That B-School magic is real, and it's awesome.
It truly is. Crystal, I love you dearly. Thank you so much for coming on here. Congrats to all of your success, and I can't wait to see you in July.
Yes. Bye, guys.
Bye,
Thank
girl.
you.
Take care. Isn't she just amazing? I love her so much. And guys, I wish you could have seen Crystal when she first came into the B-School program. I saw her because she's in my B-School Bonus Experience, meaning we have a private Facebook group for just my special bonus group. So she came in there and she wasn't this girl. Like if you want to show up in a bigger way, if you know you're made for more, if you're like, Amy, I know I'm meant to do something bigger on this earth. I just know it. I just don't know what that is. Crystal did not know when she joined B-School that she would become someone who would grow her own podcast, have massive success with that, grow her email list, and then start teaching other women entrepreneurs how to grow their own podcast, how to start and grow their podcast. If you told her that the minute she came into B-School at this time last year, she would not have told you she was going to be doing that. Now she's speaking on stage at an event, telling other people how to podcast.
So what did you think? I know it felt like a total promotional video for B-School, which is not even open right now, but I thought that it was just such a fun conversation to have with one of my mentors, and I gotta be really honest with you, I never would have imagined the opportunity to have a conversation with like that with Amy, even just a year ago. So I feel so blessed to share this part of my journey, but I also want to share it as inspiration for you and your journey. Who are some of your mentors that you look up to? And is there a way that you can reach out to them or work with them or help inspire other people the way that they have inspired you? So I hope that you found this video helpful today. Make sure you hit that thumbs up and subscribe below if you have not already. And I have another extra special treat for you. Amy recently developed a quiz that is very helpful for anyone who is looking to find their path to creating a profitable digital course. This 2-minute quiz, which is very short, simple, and to the point, will help you get clarification on whether a digital course is right for you, your podcast, or your business. So you'll find a link in the description below, and I invite you to take this quiz because 1, it's free, 2, it's very quick, and 3, you will get so much clarification on the information that Amy provides. She doesn't go like just kind of sidestep into something. She goes full blown, all in, and I can't wait to see what you find out in this quiz. But that does it for today. So make sure you come back and check out videos that are all about podcasting tips, strategies, and everything else. And check out these other videos right here that have life hacks and all the things about podcasting. And I will see you in the next video. Remember, keep it up. We all have to start somewhere.